Hello, welcome to Mornings with Michael in the evening. This is for informational and educational purposes only. Let's get to the news. First, I'm going to share my screen. There was a big day as bond yields dropped significantly today. As you can see, tech stocks rose. NVDA kind of saved the market with its huge beat and raise, massive beat on its earnings estimate and raise future guidance. Nike really choked in the Dow, is the biggest loser in the Dow today, but healthcare pulled back from yesterday's good going, and energy as well. So that's our heat map. And let's get to the news here. In the consumer breakdown, Advanced Auto Parts AAP Q2 EPS $1.43 versus estimate $1.66. Ouch! That's a big miss. Foot Locker shares fall after cutting guidance and suspends dividend. Q2 comparative sales fell 9.4%. Their EPS was at 4 cents, in line with their estimates. Toll Brothers TOL, EPS 373 versus 283. They were a big up. Urban Outfitters URBN, Q2 EPS $1.10 versus estimate 89 cents. Lazy Boy LZB, Q1 EPS 62 cents versus 55 cents. Stellantis STLA weighs tie up with EV maker to expand in China, sources say, according to Bloomberg. Nikola NKLA files to sell 10.27 shares of common stock for holders. Energy, Industrial, and Materials. Dycom Industries DY Q2 EPS $2.03 versus estimate $1.66. UPS employees approved a new 5-year union contract with delivery giant Tuesday. Your local drivers are now going to be paid $60 an hour to deliver packages. The American Petroleum Institute said weekly crude oil inventories fell 2.42 million barrels. Louisiana Pacific LPX ticker symbol upgraded to buy from neutral at DA Davidson. Healthcare, Bristol Myers Squibb BMY receives European Commission approval for Opdivo as adjuvant treatment for patients with completely resected stage LLB or LLC melanoma. Roche Holdings, RHHBY shares rose after the company released interim results from late-stage clinical trial of combination of two of its drugs that showed benefit of overall survival in patients with lung cancer. Johnson & Johnson, J&J shares fall after they accepted an aggregate of 190,955,436 shares of Johnson & Johnson common stock in exchange for 1,533,833,450 shares of Kenvue, KVUE common stock. Johnson & Johnson now owns 9.5% of the outstanding shares of Kenvue. And finally, technology, media, and telecom. Qualcomm, QCOM reported they faces scrutiny from the FTC over a proposed acquisition of a chip maker that specializes in auto safety products. The Israeli-based Autotalks. And that's our news for today. And so let's go share our screen. Here is annuity. Most people, 90% of people would be better off having an annuity. They can sleep better at night, goes up a step, up a step, up a step, does not come down. Whereas the indexes are volatile, they move up and down with the market. And annuities often give you 20 to 33% bonus on new money. This is how they beat the indexes by about 5%. Similar index universal life insurance does very similar action, just doesn't give you a bonus. But it has other benefits. And we'll talk more about coming legislation mandating long-term care in California and other states. So that's that screen. Now let's go to our charts. First of all, let's look at NVDA. NVIDIA popped about close to $40 increase on their earnings. We'll have results tomorrow on how much they beat their earnings and their forward talks. But that's NVIDIA. Take a look at the US dollar. US dollar is falling, fell to its 10-day moving average, only fell 10 cents, but this helped boost gold. Gold is up, popped above its 10-day and is up to its 20-day moving average, up 1%. Silver continues its strong move, gapped up, huge gap up almost 4%. Copper up strong today. You can see huge buying activity in this issue and Southern Copper as well. Not quite as strong on the buy volume, but got a big price move. FCX didn't move quite as much, but it is up nearly 1%. Let's look at our bonds. Huge drop in bonds, down to 4.198, under 4.2. Be nice to get it under 4.09. Our magic number 4.333 was a big number in the sell-off in 2022. Here we see we're still significantly above 4.09. Look at the 20-year as well. 20-year gaps down, falls to its 20-day moving average, down nearly 5%. Huge move there. Let's look at our VIX volatility index, falling. Remember, we said 100% chance that it's going to fill this gap down here. So S&P 500 will be rising. It's up over 1% today. Volume wasn't quite as big as on the NASDAQ. Equal weighted S&P 500 up strong as well. Here's the NASDAQ up 1.5% and pretty good volume. The small caps, regional banks are bouncing, just not getting the volume. And Dow Jones are laggard, really not moving much at all, even though it got some volume there. Let's look at our trending ETFs. Best one in the technology sector is communications, with Google providing the biggest oomph here. Huge move on Google as it looks to clear this consolidation. Meta didn't move as much, barely budged. Let's look at technology. Not too much of a move, even though prices move quite a bit. Was our technology, and there's our biotech, gapped up but closed on the low. SMH had a nice move, hitting its head on the 50-day moving average. See if we can get a top of that tomorrow, when we can price in NVDA's news. Infrastructure spending. Got a nice move in infrastructure today. Industrials is moving a lot more. Industrial select sector moving more than the Dow Jones. Just take a look at Nike, big gap down, tried to close on the top of that gap down, huge volume in this. So we'll continue to watch that. Building materials, not too much move there. Mining and metals, despite the big move in gold, silver, and copper, not much movement there. And we got a big move in home builders as the bond yields top. Look at that huge volume there. We'll see if it can continue its run. So that's a look there. Let's take a look at the professional money was moving today. Where it was moving out of. This was in the news. J&J, people did not like the dilution through that other company that Kenvue. Premier dropping 9%. Supply chain management. It has been consistently falling, so this is a warning sign if you had tried to buy in here. Lancaster Colony dropping about 11%. Huge volume on this issue. Academy Sports and Outdoors gap down yesterday and continues to fall, I think, on sympathy with Dick's Sporting Goods. I believe this is Hibbett Sporting Goods as well, gapping down on that news. About 6% fall, fell on its low, and look at this huge volume. People just wanted to get out of there fast. U.S. Steel down a little bit, people taking profits, but it's a huge move, and as long as it can maintain above this line, I think it shows continued strength. And so let's see on the positive side. Breakout on ACM Research, sells single wafer cleaning equipment to semiconductor industries. Huge volume, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of looks like about 10, 12 days, up over 11%. Urban Outfitters up 3% today. pretty good volume on earnings of increased 72%, a 210% earnings surprise. Ryan Insurance Specialty Holdings, health insurance brokers, agents, and carriers. Looks like it's trying to break out of this consolidation, huge volume over here. Ross Stores looks like it's trying to break out as well. Couple of big buying days over here as they beat their earnings. They're up 19%, 13% earnings surprise. In China, this Minuso continued buying. Their earnings were up 131%, to 12% earnings surprise. And finally, Globant, huge buying, continued buying over here. And it's trying to break out of this consolidation. I didn't show this Supermicro computer. Got some huge buying. This was probably the #1 stock over the last year. It's gone from 51.63 a low, went to 357, kind of sold off on its earnings, and people are buying in on this now. So for our education, we're just going to take a look at some of the issues that we looked at first in biotech. Disc Medicine, this is one of the top 5 stocks over the last 6 months. Gone from $11.30 on a low up to $57.79. Had a little consolidation of these gains, people taking their profits. And we got a red dot, 99 relative strength rating against the S&P 500. The light bio ADR, which we highlighted over here, at a tight basis after breaking out of its sell-off down here. Said the possibility of a strong move, and right after that went up 30%. It's holding these gains pretty strong. We had a pretty strong volume of selling, but at the end of the day, we had a lot of buying. So this is not really a pink rally day since it didn't sell off, but it's has a lot of buying in it as well, and then really fell off on the retraction over here. And then today looks like it's extending these gains up by nearly 6%. The other unit that is not performing quite as well, but still remains in a pretty tight range. Here's the channel over here. We'll see if it can break above this 1057 high and remain above the 903 low. So in oil, global shipper of liquefied petroleum, this had been sold off a little bit and now getting some support, even though the volume is pretty low. This has no yield. Got a little bit of pullback on Torm. Says a yield of 26.3% dividend. We'll see if we get some more buying. We've got a number of days here in a row buying on the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 days. TK Tankers, 2.4% yield. Working on a cup with a handle, it looks like. 92 relative strength. Continue to watch this. Got a 1.1% yield on International Seaways. Looks like it's working on a cup with a handle. Earnings were up 118%. We had a lot of buying here. And this is good when it sells off at the low volume. And finally, EuroNav pulling back slightly today as well. As a lot of technology stocks took the buying, but this one has 17.8% dividend yield. On earnings were pretty close to 1,000. 999% is highest that this chart will show. And then one other, we had a First Watch in the restaurant area. Moving on some pretty good volume, although we had a pretty good price movement. It was up a little over 8%. The earnings came in at 100%. Go back and look at Kava, which we had highlighted over here at an IPO base, broke out volume and said it was at risk when it got up this level and started selling. We'll see if it can recover as it goes into the due diligence of professional money managers start to look under the covers and see what they see. So this is another one we want to continue to watch on. So that's our education fund. The due diligence would be a First Natural base after the IPO base. We showed a lot of similarities with Chipotle when they first came out, and Chipotle had gone up a little over 2,000 from their IPO a number of years ago when they were right around 40. 39.51 was a low, and Kava, their low was 36.45. So a lot of similarities there. Finally, Kura Sushi is the other big one that we were watching. Moved up to 110. It's a big sell-off. We'll see if it can get some volume going again as they expand their restaurant model. That's our report for today. Hope everybody has had a great Wednesday, and we'll check back with you on Thursday. Keep going after your goals and your activities. And if you need any help with your financial goals, we're always here to assist you. Have a great day. This has been Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only.